So just a couple more comments. First of all, if fxx, fyy is less than 0, that means these two have opposite signs. If they have opposite signs, it means one of them's concave up, one of them's concave down. At that point, you have a saddle point. There's no question. It doesn't matter what fxy does. Okay? Now, there's one case we haven't addressed, and that's a case that almost arose on the example I just did, which is why I mentioned this. What if fxx, fyy minus fxy squared is equal to 0? Okay? Hard to read this. We're just going to say you can't tell by the test. The test is inconclusive. Doesn't tell you whether it is or isn't. So let's see what this tells us, at least this part tells us, about the example I almost did. Okay? Well, you can easily check that if fxy is this, then fyy is 0. Okay? Meaning that this is 0. Okay? But fxy is still 0. Okay? So fxx, fyy minus fxy squared is 0. Okay? So now our test doesn't tell us. Well, if you think about it, though, this one definitely has a critical point at 2, 4. Okay? Matter of fact, it's easy to see that this is just a translated x squared plus 3y squared. That's an ellipsoid. Okay? An elliptical paraboloid, I mean. Okay, not an ellipsoid. Yeah, it's an elliptical paraboloid. Okay, x trace is a parabola, y trace is a parabola. It clearly has a minimum at the point 2, 4, because it's just a translated parabola, paraboloid, that has a minimum at 0, 0. Okay? And you have to work through the details of that, but this is just a translation from what you have if you have a 0 here and a 0 here. Well, this is just a translation. We're just translating this thing 2 units. Well, and from here to here, you're translating -2 units in the y direction, which just translates the location of the minimum to a point on the y-axis. Okay? So clearly, it would have had, if I'd have continued with this, it would have had a minimum just at a coordinate 4, 0. Okay? By the translation. I didn't want to do the example with that because I didn't want to deal with this case before I dealt with a case where it's greater than 0. Okay? If I replace this positive with a negative, then fyy will have a sign opposite that of fxx. And then we'll have this, we'll have a saddle point. Okay? So you can kind of digest that, but there's a lot in that last little discussion that kind of gives you the general picture. And I think that by doing the problems, you're going to be able to develop the right picture. It's not that difficult. You just have to do the derivatives correctly and then apply the test.
Yeah.